Hi, my name is Catherine, and I am the Day One Network Specialist here at Cornerstone. Day One is a statewide program of Cornerstone Advocacy Service made up of over 90 partner agencies around the state of Minnesota and Fargo, North Dakota. The goal of the program is to provide support and resources in a single call or contact. The program originated after 1994, when a governor's task force was convened which declared domestic violence a public health issue. The following year, 8 metro area shelters, including Cornerstone, began meeting to talk about ways to make it easier for victim survivors of domestic violence to access shelter. Prior to Day One, victim survivors would access shelter by looking up their local domestic violence shelter in the yellow pages and calling. If that shelter was full, which was more often than not the case, victim survivors would be given a list of other shelter numbers to call. On average, victim survivors were making 8 to 15 calls to safety. This process was really re-traumatizing as they were telling their stories over and over again to different advocates and being rejected either because the shelters were full or because that particular caller did not meet that shelter's eligibility requirements. Since the process was so exhausting and lengthy, a lot of folks who were seeking help didn't find it and became frustrated in the process and didn't want to continue looking for help going forward. So a lot has changed since then. The network has grown considerably to expand and serve victims of all sorts of different types of violence, not just domestic violence. So our network partners serve domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking and sexual exploitation, labor trafficking, and general crime, all across the state of Minnesota. So that whenever someone calls anywhere within the state of Minnesota, we can connect them to an agency that is close enough to them so they don't have to travel all the way across the state for services. There are 2 parts to the Day One program. One of them that you've heard about so far is the network of over 90 partner agencies. And the other part is we have a 24/7 call center where victim survivors can contact us either by call, text, chat, or email 24/7 in order to get support and resources.
Minnesota is unique because of the Day One call center. We connect with our participants through phone calls, texts, emails, and online chats. So, who contacts us? Victim survivors experiencing domestic violence, sexual violence, human trafficking, and general crime. We help connect our participants to a variety of services such as shelter, legal advocacy, counseling services, and emotional support. During busy months, we receive up to 200 contacts a day. Some of the partnerships we work with are 211 United Way, BCA Human Trafficking and Sexual Exploitation Tip Line, and the 48-hour hotline with Minneapolis Police Department.
Day One Minnesota, this is Ellen. How can I help you?
Day One works to ensure that no call for help goes unanswered, so that all in need can find safety and support. The Day One network and call center reduces barriers to access in a variety of ways. For many years, Day One has partnered with an interpreting service to provide spoken language interpretation for non-English speakers from across the state who contact us for help. Each year, call center staff utilize interpreters in nearly 300 conversations with victim survivors. Day One network partners also use the interpreting service. Last year, a total of 1,450 times. These are the most common languages requested. The call center's process for working with interpreters looks a little bit like this. While the caller is on the line, we place a call to the interpreter service. If the caller has not identified their language, the service can assist us and ensure we are connected to the correct interpreter. Then the interpreter joins the call with the original caller and the Day One crisis line advocate, who listens to the caller's story and assists the caller in locating resources, support, or safe shelter. When the advocate connects the caller to one of the Day One network partners for continuing support, the interpreter remains on the line with the partner organization after the transfer has been made. We know that everyone's experience and needs are unique, and we are so grateful to provide this service to best meet the needs of those we serve through the crisis line.
Since 2013, Day One has been partnered with Think Self in an effort to strive for maximum inclusivity and accessibility for the deaf community. Think Self is a nonprofit that specializes in deaf adult education and advocacy and is run by those who are in the community themselves. Throughout our collaboration with Think Self, we have been able to partner with an additional 18 domestic violence agencies statewide to further extend access to DV resources and services, provide a free domestic violence trauma-informed interpreting training, and develop a co-advocacy model that allows for one hearing advocate, one deaf advocate, and one certified trauma-informed ASL interpreter to be accessible to our deaf participant whenever they are in need of support. This is offered to all of our 18 partners. Working with trained and passionate ASL interpreters and certified deaf interpreters has been key in keeping our services obtainable and accessible.
One of the services offered by Day One, both to its network partners and to victim survivors directly, is transportation assistance. Transportation to safety can be a huge barrier that prevents victim survivors from actually getting to and accessing services. Day One is one of the few programs across the country that actually supports with transportation assistance. We contract with Jefferson Lines, which allows passengers to ride under an alias for safety and anonymity purposes. Transportation support is available to victim survivors everywhere within the state of Minnesota and up to 10 miles outside state lines. Our network partners will frequently use it to accept victim survivors into shelter, though it can also be used if someone is accepted into a longer-term housing program or if they've been accepted into chemical dependency treatment.
Day One's pet protection program, MINIFAS, Minnesota Alliance for Family and Animal Safety, is a 60-day pet foster care program for victim survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and/or human trafficking. We started this program due to the countless experiences we've had with individuals who are unable to seek safety due to fear of their own pet safety or having nowhere to place them while they are in times of transition. This concern serves as a huge barrier for accessing resources or fleeing unsafe situations for many individuals. We wanted to help break that down with MINIFAS. So we partner with a pet specialty nonprofit that provides the utmost care and support to pets during times of crisis. We've selected foster families that are screened and interviewed to provide maximum safety.
In our program, we are able to accept most pets, excluding reptiles, and up to 2 pets per participant. We fill out thorough intake forms to make sure that your pets are placed in the correct foster family and are able to send updates every 2 weeks. Furthermore, we are able to provide necessary treatment, vaccinations, and other medical care, and give you resources and advocacy services. The best part, this is all cost-free, and you won't have to worry about the safety of your animals while finding safety for yourself.
Other states have been interested in implementing similar systems to provide more and better assistance to victim survivors. Day One is a comprehensive program that works to reduce barriers and fill the gaps to help people all across Minnesota find safety, support, and resources.